Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper Offers, and on this channel here we talk about skincare, haircare and all those sort of things that are supposed to make you look good for a really long time. And today we are going to talk a little bit about spots, because that is something that is not going to make you look really nice, and most people like to get rid of them. So the industry, they often like to use an ingredient called salicylic acid, and today we are going to talk a little bit about a range from Loreal. It's a new range, and I would say that it features heavily salicylic acid, but not all of the products. So let's see which one you can actually use and which one you shouldn't use, if you're asking me. Now, I have tried various of these things here, and the first time I looked into it was because of this one here, so an SPF of 50, and it was because it was said, as I understand it, that it was a favorite of Molly-Mae. So I thought, oh, must be fantastic then. So I tried it, and I would say yes, it does come up sort of like a matte on the skin. There is just that little thing about this product here, and that is why I would not sort of like recommend it as such, because it contains salicylate, so ethyl salicylate, and it also contains salicylic acid itself. So if you're using a product like this every day, then you will be getting a lot of salicylic acid into your body, and that's not a great thing. That is why the EU have sort of like made regulations about a hummus salad, which is a salicylate, that there can only be a certain amount of that in a product, and that is because it is, as I said, a salicylate, and ethyl salicylate is a salicylate as well. And the thing is that we are a little bit afraid that it will be turning into salicylic acid in the body. So what will happen if you are actually putting salicylic acid directly onto your skin? Well, then you just get it directly into your skin, and that is maybe not really good if you're doing that every day. And that is why I would say that something like a sunscreen, that is something that you're using every day. So you should not really use something that has salicylic acid in it, or some of these salicylates in it, if you're asking me. So there is another product as well, and Molly-Mae, as I understand it, she was famous because of Love Island, so this villa, and where people are trying to find true love, not fame as I understand it, but true love, not fame as such. But they have this product here as well, as I understand it. It is in the villa, Boots says. So it is basically something that contains AHA and BHA and PHA, so that is basically a lot of acid. So it is a peel, and it also contains salicylic acid. Now, they are saying that you should use this product here sort of like maybe 4 times a week, and I would say this product here, I have tried that on my skin, and I showed you some pictures on the community tab where you could see my face after having used it, and that was used in the sense that I used this product here on top, which is a serum. So that's the one that goes with it, and it also contains the salicylic acid. So this product here contains a lot of salicylic acid. And I would say yes, it is fabulous to declog pores and that sort of thing. And I would say something like this product here, they say that you can use it up to 4 times a week. I would not do that. I would say maybe you can use it once a week or something like that, but still it contains salicylic acid. But the thing about this product here is that you're actually taking it off again after 15 minutes. You should only leave it on the skin for about 15 minutes, and then you are taking it off again. So how much salicylic acid will you be getting into your bloodstream and so on? I don't think you will be getting a lot of it. But the thing is that if you're using this serum on top, then that is supposed to be on your skin all night long. So that will be something that you're having on the skin for a long time, and it contains salicylic acid, and therefore you will be getting a salicylic acid into your body. So doing that 4 times a week, I definitely would say that you should not do that, because salicylic acid has in animal studies been shown to be a hormone disruptor, and you really don't want to disturb your hormones. So there is another product as well, and that is a face wash, and it looks like this. And I have tried it on my skin, but I just thought to begin with, like, oh, am I gonna try this on my skin? Because I always thought that it's gonna strip my skin, it's gonna be absolutely awful. But then I decided, well, I better try it then. And then I tried it, and I thought, well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, because this stuff here contains some surfactants that are sort of like rather tough. I would say some of those that you would not normally like to put on your skin. So I thought it would be a little bit stripping my skin, but it wasn't that bad. It was like kind of like, okay, it could be worse. So I tried that, and then I used this one afterwards. And then I used this one here, and I've done that twice. So I thought, yes, you have salicylic acid in it, and you have all these other acids in it, and it was sort of like a peel your skin, declog your pores, and you will become much more shiny afterwards. Yes, you will, because that is sort of like how a salicylic acid is basically working. It's sort of like every time you have used that, and now you have these other acids in it as well that will peel your skin, you will have a much more of a glow. Definitely, yes, it works like that. So as such, I think it's a product that does what it says on the tin, and it does work nicely. It does have this sort of like a cooling effect on the skin when you're having it on for 15 minutes. And definitely when you're taking it off with water afterward, it's kind of like, it seems to be even worse. It's sort of like you're putting your face into a deep freezer or something like that. But that is sort of like because of the acids in it. So that is sort of like the effect on this skin. So you get a feeling that your skin is sort of like really being stripped. So I say, would I use it in the future? I'm actually thinking that sort of like I like the product, the way it's working, but there is salicylic acid in it, and yes, it has a function, and it works probably really good for declogging the pores. I would say maybe use it once a week or something like that maximum, and then that should basically be sufficient. Because the thing is, if you need to use something to declog your pores every single day, well, there is something else wrong with your skincare than just needing to add some sort of like salicylic acid to your skin. You should sort of like be more gentle with your skin in general, and you should eat differently and do all that sort of thing. And I have made other videos you can see about that, how I suggest that you are working with your skin in order to make it produce some of these ceramides and that sort of thing. That is really good for the skin, so it's kind of like for a good moisture barrier. So if your moisture barrier is really sort of like broken, your skin will use a lot of sebum, will produce a lot of that, and you will have these pimples and spots and all that sort of thing. And then you have this sort of vicious circle that you are using something constantly to declog your pores, but actually you should more sort of like work with your body itself in order to make it not produce that much sebum. But yes, I know it can be a little bit difficult if you are, for example, a teenager. Everything just seems like nothing is working on your skin. Yes, I have been there myself. But I would say something like this, maybe once a week, and then sort of like try to work with your body in order to make it produce a better moisture barrier. So one thing, if you really must use this product here because your friends are using it, or you just sort of like, I want to use it because I just want to use it, what I would say, and what I've spoken about before, is that something you can do is that you can add a little bit of mineral oil to it, and that will sort of like take the edge off it, and you will be left with a much more sort of like a dewy looking skin, and your skin will not be overwhelmingly stripped. So why am I talking about a mineral oil instead of some other sort of plant oil or something like that? That is because mineral oil, that is something that is safe on the skin regardless of what sort of skin type you have. While some of these plant oils, it might be good for some people, it might not be good for other people, and that sort of thing. It's a bit more tricky. So something like mineral oil, that is something that is safe on basically every sort of skin type. So that's why I'm talking about mineral oil. So you can add a little bit of it to this cleanser here, and then that should sort of like be much more gentle on the skin. Now there is another product as well, and the thing is that they're actually saying that when you have used the serum and the peel and all that sort of thing, you should use your normal moisturizer on top. Another thing is to say that when you have used a peel like this, then you do it in the evening, and then the next day you definitely want to wear a sunscreen, so at least SPF 30, and here they are talking about SPF 50. So because your skin is sort of like really sort of like bare, and it's stripped, and it's really sensitive, so you don't want a lot of sunshine on your skin after that, so you need to protect it after that. And that's also, I think, if you have something that is making your skin sort of like sensitive to the sun, maybe you shouldn't use it every other day, maybe just once in a while. So I would say that in the future, will I buy some of these products here? Well, still to talk about one of the creams, I would say that this one here, yes, I could see myself sort of like buying it and then using it maybe once a week or something like that. But the other products as such, I would say salicylic acid on a daily basis, no, I'm not gonna use that. So they have this other here, so a bright reveal cream, and that is a day cream, and it also contains sun filter, so it is an SPF 50. And the thing about these two sunscreens that they have, so they have this one here, and they basically have this one here as well, where this one here is sort of like promoted as a sunscreen, but this is more like a day cream with a SPF in it. So what is really the difference? I think that the one that is the sunscreen is sort of like maybe tested better or something. I really don't know, but I think it is Loreal, so I think they know that these things, they live up to the SPF that they are stating on the product. So I think that they do work as they're supposed to. Now the difference is that L'Oreal, they have various sun filters that they have a patent on, and there is one that is called Mexoryl 400, and that is actually in this product here, but it's not in this product here. So I will say that this one here, I would say I would rather use this one, but of course I would use the correct amount, which for my face is about 1 milliliter, and a bit more if I want to put it on my neck and my ears as well. So I would say something like this is actually, it contains a lot of really good sun filters, and the one that is Mexoryl 400, that is really good because it is very much more protective than what we know of other filters in the UVA 1 range. So that is sort of like between 340 and 400 nanometers. So that is where other sunscreens, they have in the past faded a little bit. So now we have Mexoryl 400. It is also called MCE, as I understand it, and that is basically one of these new filters that L'Oreal have made, and it is I think it was approved in 2019 or something like that. In the beginning, the EU said that they were not really sort of like how much can you put in order to be sure that it's safe on the skin, but they came up with that's about 3% apparently. So I guess that is less than 3% or maximum 3% of that filter in this cream here. So I'm actually thinking that this one here, I used that on my skin, and to begin with I was just thinking, oh, L'Oreal, and usually those creams are sort of like really greasy, or that is how I remember them. So I thought this one here, it has a little bit of a tint, and it's sort of like, I think it has a perfume in it as well. It's not overwhelming, and then when I used it on my skin, it felt a little bit greasy to begin with, and then I was actually pleasantly surprised during the day, because I thought it actually starts to be sort of like more and more less greasy as the day progressed. And it is because it contains silica, and this one here contains a lot of silica as well, and you will see that not as a white cast, because they actually say that this does not leave a white cast, so it should be safe for all sort of like skin colors. But actually, when you use the correct amount and you're looking on your eyelids during the day, you will see that it actually does collect a little bit of some white stuff up there. But I would say it's not something that I think will leave a white cast on dark skin. I don't think it's that much. It's just like it starts to slip and slide on your eyelids, and then it will show up there. But I guess they also say that you shouldn't put it too close to your eyes. So this cream here, I would say we can just have a little bit of a look on it, and yes, it has a sort of like a salmon sort of color, and I just used sort of like, I guess about here that would be maybe a little bit less than 1 milliliter. So just simply just put it on my skin, and it's sort of like, I was, as I said, sort of like pleasantly surprised that sort of like it came up as matte as the day progressed. So I thought actually, I was actually later thinking that maybe it was a contender for the sunscreen that I'm normally using, which is the Riemann P20. So that's the one for sensitive skin, because this here actually does contains a lot of good things in it as such, and the filters are these modern filters, so that is sort of like really good. So in that sense, I think actually this could actually be something that if you wanted to have a sunscreen on and don't want to look super greasy, then maybe something like this could be a good choice. But always make sure that you're getting the correct amount on your face, and that is about 1 milliliter. So yes, but I'm thinking this is a day cream, so they are saying maybe they don't want you to use that much of it, but why then have they put the SPF 50 in it then? Because it might be that they think that you should use this one and then you should use the actual sunscreen on top, but I mean, then you should be half and half or something like that, and it'll be a little bit difficult. I think you shouldn't sort of like mix sunscreens and say, I'll just take half of this and half of the other one, then it's going to be good. I don't think you should do that. So now this might look a little bit greasy, but actually I'm thinking maybe it was a little bit more greasy before I actually put this stuff on here, because here in England today it is really, really hot. Apparently at 30 degrees or something like that, and humid. So yeah, that is usually how it is here in England. Very humid, if you ask me. And yeah, so now we are smearing this stuff out here, and I actually think that when I look in the mirror, when I started filming it was a little bit more shiny, but now it's sort of like, I think it comes up as a little bit more matte, and that is because of the silica that is in the stuff. So yes, it has a little bit of a sort of like a tingling effect now on my skin, but apart from that, I would say that I did not have any sort of like issues with it, and I don't think that it annoyed my eyes during the day. So in that sense, yes, I'm actually thinking that I will sort of like try this a little bit more and see if I can actually use that maybe instead of the Riemann P20, or sort of like I can have one if I'm going out and about, and then I can have this one here if I need to have a sunscreen on and I'm going somewhere where I'm meeting people and I want something that is a little bit sort of like less greasy. So in that sense it could be a good product. So out of all these products here, I would say this one here, how should you actually use it? I can just show you that it actually works, that you're unscrewing it, and then you are sort of like doing like that, and then it comes out like that, and then you sort of like squeeze it out like that. And my understanding is that this sort of amount should be enough for your entire face. Certainly it was enough for my face. So yes, that is basically how it works. But I think something like this I could actually see myself buying again, and then this one here maybe, but I will try it a little bit longer. But so far I'm actually thinking that these two are the best products in the range, and I would leave the other ones. So this range is basically a lot about niacinamide. So what can you do if you would like to have some niacinamide on the skin in order to fade acne scars and that sort of thing? Well, there is something company called Q+A, and they have this serum here. So it's a niacinamide serum. It's a niacinamide, and it is they call it a daily toner, and yes, you could use that on your skin if you would like that. And if you want something different than the salicylic acid, something to declog your pores, you can use something else, and that is from the same company. You can get it from other companies as well. So Q&A, they have this salicylic acid thing here. So that basically does a lot of the same thing that salicylic acid does. So yes, that was my little verdict on this product here. So if you'd like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe if there and do those things you've been doing in order to be notified when I upload more of this sort of videos. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye.